Alright. Hello everybody and welcome to my new video. My name is Jay Lincoln and today we're going to talk about Baron Vision Control. Let's say you are the blue team here, starting at the bottom side, and you are hitting the game, you managed to get an advantage, and now you want to take down the Baron. What comes next is that you set up proper vision, and by proper vision, we're going to talk about you need to place down effective words that give you the most value out of them. And I think the most obvious part here is placing a pink word, which is going to be the X here, in the Baron pit. Make sure that it is actually in the Baron pit, so you have that wall covered as well, and the enemy team doesn't have any sneaky words in there. And when it comes to control here, vision control, I think there's three really crucial words that you need to have in your team. And one is over here in this brush. Make sure that you place it on the right side of the brush, on the lower red buff brush. And if you place it on the right side of it, you gain vision towards the race. And it's definitely pretty strong here. Another word should be actually in this brush here over there. And the third one in the tri brush. So by that, you gain really good vision, really effective vision as well. You have every entrance covered of the enemy jungle, so they cannot really collapse on you without you noticing them. And if you have put those three wards down, basically four with the penguin, you're pretty safe to do that. However, of course, there are some blind spots. For example, the mid lane. The enemy team can still come through the mid lane. So now the situational words come into place if those spots are covered already. So first things first, you should try to have this brush worded as well with one of your words if those are covered already, and maybe one over here or in here. So having the mid lane covered as well is kind of important. Another situational word would be in here, but the green ones are actually not the most important ones. I think the blue ones are cutting the deal pretty much for you. If you have that vision set up for the Baron, then it's pretty safe to take it down without an enemy team coming towards you unnoticed. Another thing to mention is that if you cannot really place down this word over there because you're afraid of the enemy team being in here, you can definitely place your third word over here. It's not that effective, but it's much safer for you to place, and you can place it from the Dragon Baron pit or as well. All right, now let's get into the red team's vision. This is offensive once again. You want to take down the Baron, you're in control of the game. So you place down one pink word over here as well, same as before. You want to have this wall covered. And the first wall should go in here. Make sure that you place it so you can actually spot the blasting cone and the blue buff area. This is really effective and really efficient. Another word is over here. Make sure that you place it on the left side so you have the jungle covered as well of the enemy team, and then you can place one word over here. I have making sure that you cover those two directions as well. Situational words here once again would be in this brush over there, and in this brush in here. I think you need to. This is really situational because if the enemy team has actually pressure in the top lane and priority in the top lane, they could collapse from the top side. So having a word in there is kind of important. Another situational word would be in here, so you have a better early warning, and on the left side of the blue brush here. It's important that you place it on the left side once again because that way you gain a little bit more vision towards their Vols and towards the left side of the jungle here. Alright, now that we talked about offensive words, I'm gonna briefly talk about defensive words as well because I think those are really important too. If you're behind in the game and the enemy team threatens to go for the Baron, you can make sure that you have vision set up, and then you are able to stop them from taking Baron by simply having words and threatening to collapse on the team while they do Baron, and being safe not to get ambushed as well. Alright, so the first thing first, I think if you come from the mid lane, you should place one word or throw a skill shot into this brush here. Make sure that nobody is in there. Um, Actually, not place a pink word in here. I think the pink word should go into this brush, making sure that your team can approach the enemy team while they do Baron without being spotted here through this brush. Having a defensive word in here in this wall upper side of the Baron is really important because, as we said, they probably have a pink word in the pit. So if you have it outside of the pit, they will not spot it. So one word over there as well, and another word should go in here if you play defensive and you just want to be sure the enemy team doesn't go for the Baron. Situational words in that game would be actually towards the blue buff, having the blue buff worded, and having, you can go from the blue buff, you can ward over here as well, and see the enemy team doing the Baron through that ward as well. Alright, when it comes to defensive wards as a red team, you want to have your pink ward in this brush here, making sure that the enemy team has no vision in here. You can move around freely and probably throw in skill shots or place wards. I think one really important ward, of course, is over there. It most likely will get spotted by a pink ward in the pit, so you need to have a ward in there too, making sure that you see the enemy backline shooting at the Baron when they do it. And I'm gonna show you an example how it looks like in game 2. Yeah, there we go. This ward over here. One over there, one over here, and one should go over in there. Situational wards, of course, would be probably over here, over the wall, so you see the enemy going towards the Baron really, pretty early. One ward you can place over there, and in the mid lane brush as well. Alright, with the help of Practice Tool, I'm going to show you how to properly set up the vision. So first things first, make sure that you have a ping ward in the Baron pit and having the other side of the wall covered as well. And then you walk up to that crack over here, which goes into the river, and press space, use your ward, and use it where the brush meets the wall here, the stone wall. Go a little bit to the right and just place it down. You can see that this is a pretty good tri-brush ward, and it's really helpful for you. So the second ward can go over this wall here, creating good vision here towards that area, so you spot the enemy team going for the blasting cone and trying to get into the Baron pit. The third ward actually goes into that brush, but as I already mentioned, it's really important that you place it on the right side of the brush here. As we can see right now, whoopsie, there is an enemy, and as we can see, she plays it on the right side. You can see the enemy team earlier, which is really important in League of Legends. Those crucial moments are sometimes game changing. Now we're gonna pretend that we are the red team and ahead in the game trying to get the Baron, so we get offensive vision once again. The first vision ward, as I said, should go into this area. Make sure that you place it a little bit in front of this wall, so you actually get vision onto the blasting cone and towards the blue buff too. Second ward goes into this brush, making sure that you have vision at the area of the enemy jungle. And the third vision ward goes into this, having the same tactic as it goes over there. You have a really good ground covered, and the pink ward, of course, obviously in the Baron pit. And I mean, right now we have a lot of ground covered with those wards, and I think it's really important to place them down correctly. Alright, when it comes to the situational wards, make sure that you place your ward correctly on the left side of the brush, because as you can see, if you place it in the middle of the brush, you don't really gain that much vision. And if you stand right here, you see that this area is dark for us, but if you place it on the left side of the brush, you gain much more vision and have a little bit more of an early warning here, so you see the enemy team coming in earlier. Second one, as I said, could go in here. Alright, when it comes to defensive wards as a blue team, you kind of have to be careful here. The enemy team could be camping in this brush, so you really need to be careful. You should actually throw skill shots before you walk in there, get a ward in, and then if you have the freedom, you just walk in there and make sure that there is no void in here by your oracle, and place your pig ward in here, so in this brush, so the enemy team doesn't spot you running around here, and you can actually clear enemy vision and have decent vision yourself. Another one in this brush over there. The upper wall, as I said in the video already, and that one right there. So this wall is actually going to enable you to spot the enemy team doing the Baron without having this ward, because of, there's always a pink ward usually. There's usually always a pink ward in the Baron pit, so this one is really crucial if you want to spot the enemy team doing the Baron. Hello, Rift Herald. Alright, and when it comes to defensive vision, let's just pretend we're the red team and the blue team wants to go for the Baron. So once again, the enemy team might really likely be in this bush, so you should actually try to throw skill shots in there. Probably place a word in there through, oh, red buff, don't hurt me! Place a word in there through the red buff, and they go there, place a pink word, so you deny the enemy vision around here, and then you can, from here, you can place a ward in the Baron pit, while being safe. It's really important not to get caught because the enemy team can use the lack of vision for ambushing you guys over there. So you should never really face check brushes. And I think one over here is really important, and the third one can go into this. Okay, with that being said, I hope that I could help you out with these warding spots and with the techniques. Um, I hope you get that elo you want to. If these tips were helpful to you, make sure to leave a follow on my twitch.tv account because I stream there a lot and I do educational streams as well. Make sure you stay tuned and bye bye. See you next time.